birthday, graduation, anniversary, things like that. I mean, it's not the case with us, but I've seen that. So when my child graduates, say master's completes, I would like to hold a satsang in that, in honor of his graduation. But there is another aspect of it where the school, they want to throw a party to the children, right? It's like peer pressure, everybody's doing it, I'll do it for my friends. Is that wrong? I mean, how, we cannot invite everybody to something because not everybody would understand, that, right. So how to...
When you're married and you have children, you have certain social obligations, something that a single person doesn't have. So sometimes you'll have to do that. So you're right, you cannot invite everybody for satsang, they will not come. And sometimes, if you have to, you have to. You just have a balance. Yes. You shouldn't beat yourself up about that I need to have a party, how can I have a party? No, it's okay. But you keep your, there are certain principles you have. So obviously, you're going to keep those principles. In this party, I'm not going to have meat and alcohol, right? So, and then, again, I'm talking to not just you, Richa, but to everyone. Then, what will people think? My daughter's getting married and we are total vegetarians, we don't drink alcohol. What about the guests? Who cares? That doesn't matter. You stick to your principles, you stick to your, the rules you have set for yourself. So, yes, and sometimes there'll be get-togethers, there'll be parties, it's okay.
One other question. Yes. So, what I've experienced for morning sadhana, 7 to 9 a.m., it's wonderful. Nothing can stop me coming, and so many others come every Saturday. What I feel like after that sadhana, if we sing the songs that are sad songs, like humility songs, thinking about, okay, how bad I am, Radharani Kripa Karo, and all of that, after that, I have felt that it's a little depressing, meaning I'm so bad. I mean, I have to be, I have to go to, I have to have a long way to go, things like that. So, and it remains for a long time. And sometimes I feel like, no, I have to feel happy, but it doesn't happen unless we do a couple of kirtans that are like happy kirtans. Is that okay to feel that way?
When you sing the songs of humility or songs of humility, then you say Dwarapatiti Kayori Kishori Radhe, that no, you should not feel depressed, but change those feelings from depression to hope that I am a sinner, knowing the definition of sin. We're all sinners before God realization. But how fortunate I am that I have a powerful guru in my life and I'm learning how to do devotion. So I will not always remain a sinner. I am trying to do devotion. So fill your heart with inspiration and gratitude that what a great guide I have in my life. Sri Maharaj Ji, Jagat Guru Uttam Sri Kripaluji Maharaj, he came into my life, and how fortunate I am to have this. So depression definitely should not be, that's wrong, that is not the proper feeling to have. But the sadness should be there, that I am so, I've gotten so far away from God, I am so away from my goal. But I am trying to go closer and closer.
Thank you.
Despondency should not come in.
Thank you, Diji.
Welcome. Radhe.
So, like, if we have to practice the spirituality or religious rituals, I heard that we have to practice that we like somehow, like in the happy moment and in the sad moment, we should practice like the same kind of emotion. So can you please guide us on this topic, like how?
You mean to be equal, to be the same in both?
Yes. Like because...
Sukha mein bhi Radhe Radhe, dukha mein bhi.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so how can we be like that? Is that your question?
Yeah. My question is, can you please elaborate this topic so we can just like practice, because it is not possible to come Yugal Kunj every day, right? Because when I'm in front of you in this hall, everything is fine, no doubt.
Yes.
But again, when we will go home, so many things, we have left there. That is like that only. So when we will go home, again, the things will be that way. So what, like the beginners, as a beginner, what we will remember so we can remind ourselves, okay, because sometimes, some exciting news is coming. That time we say that, oh, you have to express yourself, why not? And when you are sad, and I experienced many times. So somehow I'm just thinking, am I reducing my excitement and I'm not happy with the blessings? Or I'm just wishing for the sad moments in my life, so I will be not that much happy. So yeah, somehow confusion also. So for that only I thought the practice word will make more sense here. That as a beginner, how I can remind myself, it's okay if good things are happening, and it's okay if things are not happening.
Absolutely. Good and bad will both come. There'll be favorable conditions in life, and there'll be successes and failures. There'll be gains and losses. And when there's a gain, don't get, we must not become so excited, like, wow, I've gotten this. And when there's a loss, we should not become devastated. And we should regard both as the grace of God. Paun to bhi radhe radhe, khoon to bhi radhe. In both situations. That I should not get all worked up, get very excited about this. I have this because of grace of God. Let's say I have succeeded in my career, let's say, and I should not become proud of it. I'm happy about it. Who wouldn't be happy? But I give the credit to Krishna. I give the credit to Bhagwan. And if I'm failing in some way, if I have not gotten what I've wanted, and I should not be devastated. Say, it's okay, I will work harder, and I will make God and Guru proud, and so remaining equal in both circumstances, not so overexcited about the gain, and not devastated about the loss.
So is it okay to not be so much excited when the things are going according to us, or
in a worldly way, you mean? Sansari?
Yeah.
Sansar mein?
Yeah, sansar mein, like now you can see that your kids are performing well in school, and they are having good grades and everything,
Yes.
right?
Right.
So shall I not be like, feel happy, or
Feel happy and grateful to God.
but not to show, right?
I mean, you want to show it to your children, definitely, that you're happy with them and you're proud of them. It's very important to give that feedback to your child, to your children. But don't gloat in it, and don't and always involve God. Always involve Shri Krishna in that.
Okay.
Yes, give him credit. Yes, that
Thank
way you can remain humble also.
Radhe Radhe Didi.
Radhe Radhe.
So I feel blessed to get connected with Yugal Kunj, and we are able to come every morning and evening to Yugal Kunj. The confusion comes to my mind always, as you mentioned, between sadhana and seva. Seva is higher, but we still try to balance. Whenever I am doing seva in the kitchen or in the garden, I feel, no, I should be in the prayer hall, I should not miss the lecture, or I should not miss the kirtan. But when I'm here in the kirtan, I keep thinking, oh, I have to finish the cooking. I have it should be done. The bhog should be done right in time, and so all those thoughts come in mind. So I'm not able to focus here when I'm here. So how do I balance that? And when I'm in the kitchen, I feel, oh, I'm missing the lecture.
Sometimes what happens is, in any organization, whether it's, secular or religious, 20% of the people do 80% of the work, right? So there's not that many volunteers who will come and say, I will do this. So you're one of them who lives nearby. You can come, and you do come, and you come to make breakfast for Bhagwan and devotees. You come to offer bhog. So when that happens, you know that take solace in the fact that you're doing seva at that time. It's not that it's not that there's so many choices. This person could come, this person. So I've been given this seva. Think like that. I've been given this seva. And seva, in Maharajji's eyes, as I have often mentioned to you, Sri Maharajji, Jagadguru Sri Kripaluji Maharaj said, seva is the topmost. Because you can do sadhana while doing seva. That is not to say that you don't ever need sadhana. You need that too. So you have to create a balance for yourself. But when you're doing seva, do not feel that, you're lacking, you're missing out. Because you're getting seva pleases God and Guru very highly. I think if we all knew the immense benefit of seva, we'd be like running and grabbing every seva possible, because it's so good for us. Seva. So when you're doing seva, be very happy doing that seva. When you're doing sadhana, be very happy that you're here doing sadhana. Because you do both. You're doing both sadhana and seva. And that seva, that is the topmost. It is the seva which you're doing devotional service, alongside with you're thinking about God and Guru, you're offering that seva to God and Guru, and that is the seva which is higher than even sadhana. Not just physical seva, as you understand.
Yeah.
But seva in which mind is connected to God and Guru.
Yeah. I mean, what I realize myself that when I'm sitting here, sometimes, you are able to do Roop Dhyan, and while in the kitchen, I am not able to do Roop Dhyan. I am thinking, okay, now what should be done next? So kind of engrossed into that. Then, I'm not able to do Roop Dhyan that time.
But that's what you have to practice.
Yeah.
When you're doing that seva in the kitchen, let's say, that, my Guru is here and my Bhagwan is here. They're watching me. And that's why any seva should be done, especially in the kitchen, let's say, it should be done in silence, because otherwise you cannot do Roop Dhyan. You can't be talking. I'm not talking about you, but general, the volunteers in the kitchen should not talk. Maharajji had made them put masks on there before even COVID. Because it's not hygienic, first of all. Secondly, there's no purpose solved, and it's not good to be talking and doing seva. How can you do Roop Dhyan? So there should not be a place for socializing, and just do it quietly, and then you can do Roop Dhyan. That's the Karma Yoga sadhana. You're doing the seva. Because if you think about it, if everybody but just sat here and didn't do any seva, Yugal Kunj could not run. As it is, it's 20% of the people do 80% of the work. So if the 20% also start lacking and say, I want to do only sadhana, that's not going to work out. But at the same time, while doing seva, do the Roop Dhyan, that I am doing this for the pleasure of Hari and Guru. And then that's a beautiful experience. So you just get your mind accustomed to thinking that way. That Sri Krishna is right here in this kitchen. And then no talking. That rule should be followed.
Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Didiji, I think it's been 10 years that my family and I are affiliated with Yugal Kunj, and when we started listening to Sri Maharajji and being in your company, I have given up my social life. I literally have no social life, no friends. My friends and family is Yugal Kunj. That's for me. I don't need anybody else. So I was able to focus when I do meditate on God, but I feel like I'm stuck at Dasya Bhav, and I don't know how to move up to Madhurya Bhav. I don't know how to move up to next level. What should I do to get to that level, Didiji?
Yes, to get to Madhurya Bhav, you just have to trust the words Maharajji has spoken. Maharajji has said that, and it does make sense to you, that Madhurya Bhav is the topmost. think about the gopis, think about Radharani, and use them as role models. Say that this is my chance to love Shri Krishna the most, because in Dasya Bhav you can only love him as a master, Lord and Master, but when you go into Madhurya Bhav, you can love him so much more. You can love him as Lord and Master, your friend, best friend, your child, and your beloved. And you have less restrictions in that relationship, no restrictions in that relationship, and so many privileges. And the sweetness is incredible. So when you sing, and singing the bhajans that will take you into Madhurya Bhav will really help. Read them, read the meaning, and think about it. Train your mind. First understand why Madhurya Bhav, and then do everything possible to get your mind into Madhurya Bhav mood by reading from, Hai Sakhi Drigana Milai Man Lagayo, and such beautiful songs. Hai Dai Yah Kaisi Bhairi. There's so much. Jhumata Avat Sham Dekhu Sakhi. All Madhurya Bhav, all of these and so many more will take you into that highest, the sweetest relationship.
So when I listen to those kirtan, Didiji, I always think of how gopis were feeling towards Lord Shri Krishna, but I can't feel that I would shed tears by thinking, oh my gosh, gopis were missing Shri Krishna when he left. Right. But I'm not feeling as if I'm a gopi.
Next step is I am a gopi. I am the gopi. So whether you're, again for the males also, whether you're male or female, it's easier for a female, but even if you're male, you have to think, I'm a gopi, I'm a female, and he's my beloved. So even for the males, that is recommended to get to the highest level of devotion. So it's easier for a female. So now the next step is, I am that gopi who's missing Krishna. I am that one. So put yourself in that situation. That is not to say that you become a gopi. Some people say, I'm not a gopi. No, but you put yourself in their place, that's how a gopi must be feeling. So, yeah, and read those wonderful compositions of Sri Maharaji. Anupam Roop, Neelmani Kori, and just think, I am a gopi, and I am feeling this.
Radhe Radhe Didiji.
Radhe.
I have a question. I know my devotion is going a little bit better than I was before last 10 years, but my biggest issue is my anger, especially with my family, sorry. So on that case, I know Maharaji says anger is not good for devotion, but hard for me to control. And I'm trying, only with outside I'm better, but with my family I'm like, okay, do this. If not done, I get anger right away, So I need to change myself.
Ki kahani hai. Yes.
And I feel so bad. I feel guilty. I remember Maharaji's word, and I cry too after I get angry with. But hard for me to not to
right.
change.
It's definitely, we don't get angry with strangers. The anger comes only towards the people you're attached to. So it has to be your family members. It is, you don't get angry with others. Now, how to control that? You have to think about, what you could replace that anger with. And, okay, why do I get angry? Okay, my expectation was not met. Let's say, I'm going to come up with a scenario. You tell your child, to pick up the dishes after dinner, and it's not done. Then you say, oh, I have to do it, I'm so frustrated, and I'm so angry at my kid, and you start yelling, let's say. Again, you meaning, it could be anybody. It's a very relatable situation, that, I told you to do this, you didn't do it, why? And you get angry. So then you could think, okay, how do I handle this? And maybe the child is intending to do it a little later. So maybe there's another way of doing it, just, And it's easier for me to say, you're dealing with it on a day-to-day basis. But however, I do know human nature, and that is that, by getting angry, you're not solving anything. That's something you do realize. That's why you don't like getting angry. Okay, I'm not solving the situation, solving the problem by getting angry. How else could I solve it? What can I do? So maybe in that situation, the mother talks to the child and says, you didn't do it. The child says, Mom, I was gonna do it half an hour later. Okay, give me the time limit, I'll do it by 9 p.m. Okay, let's say. That's just, talking it over and saying, what else, how else can I resolve this situation? And then maybe the laundry is not gonna get done because you didn't put your clothes in the hamper. How am I gonna do it? Okay, so let them go to school with dirty clothes one day. It's gotta be one of those situations, isn't it? You didn't do this, and I expect you to do it. You didn't throw the garbage out, and that's your only duty. When I was growing up, I have one brother. He's the youngest in the family, and his only chore was to throw the garbage out. And he didn't do that. So, he would say, I'll do it later. So one day I said, when is later? He said, because he said later every time, he said, I hope it's not anytime soon, because then I'm going to be really busy, because everything is later, I'll do it later. So, okay, the garbage didn't get thrown out, put it on the child's bed. Ann Landers had given this advice once. She was a columnist in the newspaper, and she had given this, and I said, what, put it on the child's bed? She said, yeah, he'll never forget. So rather than, I'm not going to get angry, I'm just going to show you that, if you don't do this, the consequence is this. The consequence is not that I'm going to yell and scream. Why should I yell and scream? The consequence is that, or you tell the child a consequence, and I've done this with children in satsang, and they remind me that I used to be much tougher than I am right now. The kids were all grown up. So once there was a group of kids back in Toronto, and we had a very fun trip planned to a place about 5 hours away, and we were going to go in cars, and many devotees were going for the weekend. And I had told these two children, these two boys, I said, if you don't behave, you're not going to go. And they behaved for a while, and then they didn't behave, and then they did behave, then they didn't behave. And so then one of them asked me, when are we going? And I said, correction, you're not going. And his face just fell. And I said, I'm not like your mother who's just making promises and not keeping it. I'm not threatening you just like that. I am not taking you. So they did not get to go. They said, no, we're sorry. I said, too late. I told you the consequences, I will not take you. So and it's very difficult for parents, because they're very attached to their children, to keep their word. And that's one thing that harms that relationship or harms that dynamic. That, तुम्हारी हड्डियां तोड़ दूंगी. Like, you're not going to break somebody's bones. A mother would say, हड्डियां तोड़ दूंगी, हड्डी बस ले कर दूंगी. These are empty threats. But it's like, if you don't do this, then I will not be able to pack the lunch for you, or whatever it may be. So just calmly telling the child, this is the consequence. And that's just one scenario, one or two scenarios, that's all. But having said that, being a mother is the most difficult job in the world. Yes, Kalpa.
So going back to the question of Rup Dhyan that Nishtha also asked, I know we've heard about how to practice it, or at work, think that he's right there, or every 15 minutes, every 10 minutes. I guess, how do you make your heart and mind attach and cry in a way that is meaningful? Because on the one hand, we're supposed to do Radhe breathing, and yet Radhe is so divine and so pure, and we're so unworthy, and she's so far away. And on the other hand, you feel like a filthy animal. Like, how do you deserve Lord Krishna, you know?
But we're not deserving of God. That is true. We're not deserving, but God God is so merciful. Shri Krishna is so merciful that He accepts us as we are. So yes, if we keep on thinking I'm not worthy of even devoting myself, then we will not get anywhere. So I'm not worthy, but He is, my Divine Mother Radharani, both are same. So Radha and Krishna are unconditionally merciful, and they're allowing me. So we have to get over that hurdle that definitely we are not anywhere. We're not worthy of being the dust of their lotus feet, but they allow us to do Rup Dhyan and to think of them as our everything. We have we've reached our time limit, so I shall conclude this Q&A session. Am I right? Boliye Ladli Lal ki Jai. Srimad Sadguru Sarkar ki Jai. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai